Hardened by a childhood spent living in a church and mopping its floors for tuition, Curlee Discaya learned early how to chase systems that reward silent ambition. He rarely spoke in public, even after he began overseeing projects under the Department of Public Works and Highways. For years, Curlee operated just beneath the radar while his wife Sarah Discaya curated their firm's image and fielded interviews about their supposed rags to riches story. It wasn't until Pasig City Mayor Vikas Sato publicly referred to him as the MisterMind behind anomalous flood control projects that the rest of the country began giving him a double take. The couple's now infamous garage vlog, featuring a glut of nearly 40 luxury cars parked in clinical precision, resurfaced almost a year after it was uploaded on Julius Babao's YouTube channel. It triggered a probe into their dealings that led to Sarah's summons before the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. The Discayas had built a spider web of firms Alpha and Omega, St. Gerard, Amethyst Horizon, among others, all sharing one address, one auditor, and one tight-knit list of family shareholders. How long did the system look the other way? How many warnings were disguised as progress? And how did the whole thing simmer behind a cloak of pretense? Once low-key and operating behind the scenes, they are suddenly the face of the controversy. His full name is Pacifico Discaya II, born on May 15, 1975, though he is more widely recognized by his nickname. Curlee and his supporters call him Kuya Curlee, as a Taurus born in the year of the wood rabbit. His signs align with someone often described as methodical, private, and materially grounded. Curlee came from one of its most flood-prone and vulnerable areas, the Mangahan Floodway, an artificially constructed waterway that runs through Pasig and Taytay. They were situated on the east bank, the northern side of the floodway channel that was later redeveloped into the East Bank Linear Park and Skate Park after Typhoon Ondoy in 2009 displaced many families. Long before he was tied to flood control contracts, Curlee knew firsthand what it meant to live at the mercy of typhoons. While Curlee and his brother were taken in by priests of the Immaculate Conception Cathedral in Pasig, his parents and remaining siblings stayed on the east bank of the Mangahan Floodway. It was inside the church that, according to Curlee, he scrubbed floors, polished pews, and served as an altar boy. He would then ask the priests if he could pack the donated fruits or food items that were about to spoil, so he could bring them back to his family, who were still informal settlers at the time. Curlee is believed to be the only college graduate in his family, an achievement reportedly made possible by the support of priests who housed him during his youth in exchange for custodial work. Sarah mentioned that they both went to Pasig Catholic College, PCC. Curlee himself allegedly stated that he never studied engineering, suggesting his college course was in a different field altogether. Before entering government work, Curlee once considered joining the priesthood. He admitted that the thought wasn't driven by religious calling, but by survival. Curlee began his professional journey in government, taking on supervisory responsibilities at the Department of Public Works and Highways DPWH. Though his exact title has never been publicly disclosed, he was reportedly involved in implementing public infrastructure projects, particularly those related to flood control. His time at the DPWH gave him first-hand insight into how the country's procurement systems worked, and more importantly, how contracts were distributed. Eventually, Curlee transitioned into the private sector, taking on leadership roles in several construction firms that would later secure a significant share of Metro Manila's infrastructure projects. Among them was Alpha and Omega General Contractor and Development Corporation, where he is listed as the authorized managing officer, as well as other entities like St. Gerard, Amethyst Horizon, and St. Timothy. Sarah said she met Curlee at the PCC. They were classmates, and their first date took place at the campus's canteen. During the courting stage, Curlee would often gift Sarah with flowers that he plucked straight from church. Columnist Antonio Montalvan II wrote in an article that it was after the 9/11 attacks in 2001 when Sarah, her sister, and their mother returned to the Philippines. Back in Pasig, Sarah met Pacifico Curlee Discaya II, whom Montalvan described as an unemployed man. The couple was reportedly starting a family and living dependently with Sarah's mother when they sought assistance from a maternal uncle, former Pasig Mayor Vicente P. Eusebio. According to Montalvan, Vicente was the half-brother of Sarah's mother and is said to have helped the couple gain a foothold in the construction industry. But in an article published by the Manila Tribune, Sarah denied any ties to the Eusebio family, insisting that her construction firm is not a front for them. They held a civil ceremony in 2003, followed by a church wedding 13 years later in 2016. The couple celebrates their wedding anniversary every January 23rd. Together, Curlee and Sarah have 4 children, with the eldest Gerard currently studying at Mapua University. Although he once dreamed of becoming a priest, Curlee Discaya has since developed a deep and costly fascination with feng shui. Despite Catholic teachings discouraging superstition, he speaks with conviction about the magnetic pull of lucky charms, energy flow, and annual placements of objects tied to prosperity. A friend introduced him and Sarah to a Chinese feng shui practitioner from whom they bought a few art pieces worth 10,000 Philippine pesos each. At first, he said, they noticed small changes money arriving just when they were running low and delayed payments were suddenly getting cleared. In September 2024, Julius Babao featured the garage of the Discayas on his YouTube channel. The cars ranged from modest farm-ready units to ostentatious Rolls-Royces, with Sarah gleefully narrating the whims behind each purchase, a preferred color, a quirky table, or even an umbrella holder. tallying up to their 38-vehicle fleet from 700,000 Philippine pesos farm-ready moon buggies to the 59 Philippine pesos million Rolls-Royce Cullinan. The combined garage value falls somewhere between 299 million Philippine pesos and 405 million Philippine pesos. Almost exactly a year after it was uploaded, in August 2025, Pasig City Mayor Vico Sato publicly criticized veteran journalists for allegedly accepting payments in exchange for features. The screenshots he used to illustrate his point were from the interviews of Sarah and Curlee Discaya with Julius Babao and Karina Sanchez, respectively. Both journalists denied the allegations. Collectively, the firms owned by the Discayas secured approximately 31 billion Philippine pesos worth of flood control contracts between 2022 and 2025, according to investigative reports. Business filings and financial investigations revealed a tightly consolidated corporate network. All firms share the same auditor, Conrado Embriones, the same business address, and are controlled by a close circle of family shareholders. The scheme began to unravel with the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing on September 1st, 2025. Sarah admitted that Curlee's name appeared on calling cards for all the family's contracting firms, with Sen Risa Hontiveros presenting a slide of these calling cards to underline his centralized role. The result was a multi-layered network of companies that frequently bid on, and often won, the same flood control projects, raising serious concerns about collusion and procurement malpractice. This scrutiny coincided with regulatory repercussions. On September 3rd to 4th, 2025, the Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board revoked the licenses of 9 Discaya-linked firms, citing violations related to joint bidding schemes that undermined public procurement transparency. Despite maintaining a low media profile, Curlee's covert influence became unignorable when Pasig City Mayor Vico Sato publicly referred to him as the MisterMind behind anomalous flood control deals. The label, now stuck with netizens, echoed across public discourse and social platforms. Welcome to the amazing world of 1000 Vlogs.